Hey guys, it's Christina here. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm back at the marine life team once again. I just can't stop. I know I promised I'm gonna draw some different things, but I just need to come back to this subject every now and again because I have too many ideas. But hopefully this is a bit different than everything else that I've shared with you previously that has to do with marine life, because this is my first jellyfish drawing. And I've been wanting to do a jellyfish drawing for a very long time now. And I had the idea for this character for ages. And the only thing that was stopping me from working on it and turning it into an actual piece was the fact that I couldn't decide on the fine details of the way that I wanted the jellyfish to look. And in particular, that tentacle part, I don't know how it's called, but I couldn't decide on the way I want this specific part of the drawing to look. And usually when it comes to my concepts and things like that, usually the way I work is I come up with an idea. I always write it down because I have terrible memory sometimes. So I come up with an idea, write it down, and I spend a few days just thinking about it and like finalizing some things in my head before I start drawing. And it just helps me to decide on what I want to do, because when I rush into the sketching process for a drawing like this, I usually do one sketch and then I complete the entire drawing, and then I look at it and I have 100 different ideas about what I want to do. So I like to spend a few days on the concept first before I even put it onto paper, because that way I feel better about the final piece in the end. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone else. But anyway, so I did spend a long time thinking about this. Obviously not only about this, because I've worked on other drawings as well. And finally, what made me sit down and work on the sketch for this drawing was the fact that I was too tempted by the coloring portion of this drawing, because I knew kind of what colors I want to do. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted a very dark background and very like light pastel colors for the actual jellyfish part and like the girl. And that's why I sat down to work on the sketch. And it was one of those special moments in time that everything just goes right. It was a very quick drawing process, very quick inking process, and to be honest, fairly quick coloring process, which usually doesn't really happen for me. I like to spend a lot of time on the sketch and then on the inking and then on the coloring. But for this piece, just everything was happening the way I wanted it to happen. So that cut the drawing time in half. And it was one of the quickest pieces I've ever done, but I actually really like it. And I don't feel like it looks like something that was rushed or anything like that. So now on to some of the color choices for this drawing. I said already that I wanted the background to be dark, but initially I was thinking about maybe a very deep blue color or a very deep green. And I tested all the dark blues and greens that I had, and nothing really looked good next to the pastel colors that I wanted to use for the girl and for her clothes and for her hair. So I decided to just go for black. And I sort of tried to do very dark green towards the top and the bottom of the drawing, and then blend that into the black. And then I went over the entire background with a very dark turquoise color, and it just gave the black background this slight tint of green, but it's not overwhelming. You can't even really see it on the camera. You can sort of see it in person. But I think it created a very interesting level of depth and detail into the background that, as I'm saying, unfortunately you can't really see on camera. Other than that, I did use a lot of my favorite colors. In this, I really enjoy the light colors when it comes to Copics. And I feel like they're pretty much the only colors that I use, so I need to challenge myself and use more bright colors. But I mean, I used yellow, and I used a lot of yellow, which I usually don't do, so I suppose it's not so traditional for what I do as far as coloring goes. But yeah, anyway, so I used the Stedler, I think they're called, liners to line my work after I was done coloring, and then I added a bunch of details with my white Jelly Roll pen, and I really like how much they popped against the black background. But yes, that's pretty much all that I did for this drawing. Unfortunately, my camera cut off the end of this video when I was adding some of the bubbles. But I think you can see what I did fairly well in the end. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye bye.